Hey guys, there have been so many requests lately for comparison videos, and it's all stuff I've done in the past. The types of videos that people keep saying we need to do on this channel are the same ones that are already here that people aren't finding. So I'm going to do a compilation video today just showing a small handful of comparisons and other related things that I've already done. Alright, first we're going to look at the SHODO figures because there are always so many questions about these.
Hey guys, so what are those GoGo 5 figures that went up for pre-order today? I'm going to show you with the Sun Vulcan figures because same figures, just different teams. So first, let's take a really nice look at these.
I'll just mention here, I'm not showing these videos in full, so if you want to see the original video, it's on the channel, but I'm going to move on to the comparisons.
These figures are really tiny. I could just measure it, but here is an excessive number of figures to compare. Larger than a Ranger Key, and the Gashapon figure. Smaller than the Samurai figure. Here's a bike figure from Zeo. Same figures they did for like Mighty Morphin, Alien, Zeo, Turbo, and the Galaxy Gliders in space, so bike figures. Here is the candy toy that you're usually getting these days, even smaller than the normal candy toy figure. Here's Bandai's Red Action Hero Ninja Steel Ranger, Automorphin, Red Ranger, and then Hasbro's Mainline and Lightning Collection, and then here's a vinyl figure. It's very small. How big is it? That's about 4 inches. It's about 4 inches. And these are like a little over 4.5 inches. I can barely read this. I need a new ruler. Okay. If you have a figure art stand, these guys are compatible. Little thing on the back to peg into, so if you wanted to have them jumping or floating, you could. The accessories also have holes to peg in as well. Yeah, that's a good scale for displaying with Megazords. These guys make me think of like if a figure art and a candy toy had a kid. Here's the kid. Candy arts. Pretty much everything is on a ball joint. You could take the leg.
I always read my comments, and if I see somebody has a question that I can answer in the following video, I do that.
In the previous Sun Vulcan video, someone had brought up Star Wars figures, so here's the scale. They work especially well with the creatures. And the vehicles too. For whatever reason, they work better with some figures than others. Sometimes they look too big, and other times it looks like they're the perfect scale. Overall, they work pretty well. Bioman's here. Ooh, pretty. These figures do come mostly painted and assembled, but there's still some stickers to apply and some other things to assemble. These are all the figures so far. And Super 7 Rita is actually a pretty decent size, a little small though. Here's the next set, to which I say,
I think I need that. それが必要だと思うんだ.
Throughout this channel's history, everything we show in the video is linked in the video description below. The Gaoranger figures have since been released, and I've since shown them on the channel, did a little animation with those, and in that same video I did some comparisons with the model kits, with the Lightning Collection, with those little Megazords that Hasbro did for kind of like the main line and the VHS packaging. And then following that, the Gaoranger figures were released. In the video where I showed them, I put together kind of a little Legend War display. And since then, Gaoranger has been released. I'm finally assembling some of these. In addition to Gaoranger, I did my Live Man figures, and also the Mecha. Somehow I had missed Live Boxer the first time, but thankfully it got re-released, and now I have it. And now I can make Super Live Robo! These all came from Toe Collectibles. Gaoranger figures are still in stock, and Gaoranger is still up for pre-order if anyone's interested. Now I'm starting to put my Gaoranger figures together, and yes, they are compatible with other SHODO figures. People tend to skip the videos where I mention the pre-orders, but by the time I have the physical product, everything is sold out and then it's too late. So make sure your notifications are turned on and you're seeing our videos in real time. Alright, let's move on to Lightning Collection figures. Here they are fighting some Marvel Legends monsters. In 2021, I showed progress for SPD Dino Thunder Team Up. I've already had a lot of people suggest that I recreate the No One Gets Inside My Circle shot. I actually already did that. But of course, I plan to do it again now that we have Yellows and Tommy. If you watch the Lightning Collection videos all the way through, you'll see comparisons with past accessories, new head sculpts, compatibility with Bandai vehicles. That came with the red Psycho Ranger. Leo on the right is the new one that comes with the Quasar launcher. I think the new one is definitely an improvement, but I don't think they nailed it as well as they did with Kai. Each time a new figure is released, I show the previous figures from that team. In addition, I also always offer things that I would like to see and things I think they could do. So not too long ago, Hasbro teased that Power Rangers Turbos come into the Lightning Collection, and I was just thinking as like a variant for the Phantom Ranger, what about like an invisible figure? Not in place of, but like in addition to, or an exclusive somewhere, I don't know. But what do you guys think? He was able to turn invisible. Hey, look at that. I guess that wasn't such a bad idea. It's actually a pretty cool figure. Anyone else get this? The Super 7 videos that I posted back in January were really loaded with the type of content people say they want to see over here. I don't know why so many people couldn't find them then, but I'll try again now. Hey guys, I read all the comments on the previous video, and now I'm back to answer all the questions you had. Okay, more T-Rex comparisons. On the left is the original Bandai toy, and next to that is the current Hasbro Zap T-Rex. Both of those can transform. And then we have the new Super 7 T-Rex, and then the Bandai T-Rex. It's not from the Legacy Megazord, it's the one that doesn't transform. When the Zord needs to transform, there are some limitations with what it can look like. When it doesn't have to, it can look a lot more screen accurate, and Super 7 did a really good job with that. Personally, I was thrilled when Bandai made this T-Rex, but it always needed a better paint job, or stickers or something. Super 7's T-Rex, that is what we saw on TV. I'm fairly certain this is now the most screen accurate T-Rex in existence. Bandai's definitely looks more like a toy. I was also kind of surprised that Bandai's didn't include the mouth lasers. Here is the Super 7 T-Rex next to two of the Dragon Zords. Also, they are doing their own Dragon Zords. Next, we'll look at monsters. This is all Lightning Collection. And here's Hasbro Monsters with Super 7 Goldar. Lightning Collection, Super 7 Goldar. Lightning Collection, Super 7 Goldar. Super 7 Goldar with Lightning Collection putties and tangas. And then here's a Super 7 putty. Alright, now let's dig up our Bandai Legacy figures and see how those look with Super 7 figures. Well, and Hasbro. Here is Lightning Collection Goldar with Bandai Legacy Green and White Rangers. And here's Bandai Tommy with Super 7 Goldar. Legacy Green Ranger, Super 7 Green Ranger, Lightning Collection Green Ranger. I'm going to swap the Super 7 and the Hasbro helmets. See the difference? It sort of works. The Lightning Collection head is very loose on the Super 7 body, and the Super 7 head, I'm afraid to force it anymore. It doesn't really fit, but it sort of sits there. Alright, now I swapped them back. Here are the Bandai Legacy figures with Super 7 Goldar and putty, and same figures plus Super 7 Green and Lightning Collection Green. And here's Lightning Collection Goldar as well. I think SH Figuarts are smaller than people remember. I would stick to Lightning Collection if you're looking for monsters for those. Moving on to Morphers, here is the coin that came with the T-Rex Dinozord from Super 7. And here are a bunch of Morphers. If you own the original 93 Power Morpher, or the Japanese version, or the Legacy Morpher, you own a screen-used TV prop. How cool is that? In nearly every single season of Power Rangers going all the way back to Mighty Morphin, they use the toys for the Morphers. Here's Bandai's original 93 Morpher. The Super 7 coin really doesn't fit in there. It does fit very nicely in your Legacy Morpher. You're going to have to secure it with sticky stuff of some kind. That is doable, but it doesn't snap in like the coins that come with it do. And then here's Hasbro's Lightning Collection Morpher, and it kind of works, but works better with a Legacy. Again, you'd have to secure it, and it sticks out a little more with Hasbro's. Legacy Morpher is the winner here. Here is a look at various coins together. You can tell from the back, the ones that say Power Rangers, those are Legacy. The blank plastic looking one is the original Bandai. The one with the helmet is Hasbro. And then of course the last one is our new Super 7 coin. Actually, let me work this in too. On the right is an actual prop from the show. It's a resin copy of the toy coin. And sometimes for that coin they would use Velcro. Personally, I'm still a fan of the way I do it, which is I use that blue sticky stuff. It's got a couple of different names depending on where you get it. You might know it as Funtac. Personally, I just call it Glunk. I think that's a good name for it. I'll put a link for anybody interested. I've never had a coin fall out. It's really stuck in there, but it does come off. It doesn't damage the Morpher. I give it a big thumbs up. Super 7 Goldar is a great size for your Bandai Build-A-Figure Megazord. Here's Super 7 Goldar and Super 7 Green Ranger attacking the Megazord. Uh-oh, Goldar's in trouble now. Alright, here are a few comparisons. Super 7 left, Hasbro on the right with the Lightning Collection. Here's the original Bandai Automorphin on the left, Super 7 on the right. I don't have my 8-inch Green Ranger handy, so Kimberly's gonna have to stand in here. Hasbro's Lightning Collection Tommy is holding both Dragon Daggers. Super 7 is the one that's more painted. And here's Super 7's Yellow Ranger holding both of the Blade Blasters. They're roughly the same size actually, so they can swap weapons. Here's Hasbro's Lightning Collection Tommy holding the Super 7 Blaster. Who can name 2 episodes where Tommy handled a blaster in some form?
Hasbro, Super 7. Hasbro still did a really good Goldar figure, but this is really something else. And I love that he's got the replacement head with the open mouth. Still hoping for an open mouth from Hasbro. Goldar's got the box for the power coins, that opens, and 5 power coins are inside. Here is the Zap Dragonzord and the Zap Megazord next to each other. Here is the Zap Dragonzord next to the first Hasbro Megazord, which was the smaller, cheaper version. Here's the Zap Dragonzord next to Bandai America's Legacy Dragonzord. I think the Zap Dragonzord looks every bit as fancy standing next to the SOC version. And here's the Zap Dragonzord joining the Dragonzord family. The Zap Megazord will fit in your original Titanus. I don't want to disturb my Legacy Ultrazord up on the shelf, so I haven't tried it with that. Mia and I did a cool Lightning Collection animation for White Rangers from SPD and Dino Thunder, and following that was more comparisons. Omega and Dino Thunder White figures. For Omega Ranger, Bandai Japan did a version in 04 for Gaoranger, Bandai America's Light Up figure for 05, Bandai did another 5-inch version in 2014, and then of course, Hasbro's. And here's from the back. I love that the Bandai figures lit up. They really painted the 2014 version. They even got the back all the way down the leg. They even got the gold over here. They painted the morpher, helmet, the arm badge. And they really did a phenomenal job painting this. Now, of course, Hasbro's version is the best articulation of this figure available. Totally missed all the paint on the back, V-shape. It is there. Like, it does come to the point at the bottom if you do that. But, I mean, really, they totally messed up the suit. This should be way thinner and be up higher, and shoulder, arm, the suit badge, the helmet badge, missing paint, morpher, really missing paint, so they didn't get the gold around the collar. So if Hasbro's figure and Bandai's paint job could just, that would be an unbelievable Omega figure. Because this is the only figure that can actually do that with the morpher. Uh-oh. I gotta go punch somebody. I'll be right back. Jerry, here I come! That's awesome that part is movable and he can actually hold it. He can actually reach over, like you saw in the animation. Not gonna pose him now, but you get it. Moving on to Dino Thunder. Bandai Japan did a version in 03. Bandai America did a talking version in 04. Legacy, and then Hasbro. Bandai America's original figure really had a lot of paint. They even painted the morpher, which is on the wrong arm, wrist. He talks. So here's Hasbro's Uniforce cycle, and then Bandai America did one as well. Bandai's is shinier, fully painted, and it also can shoot missiles. It's a bit heavier, the pieces move a lot easier, the wheel spins a lot nicer. It did come with a figure which is fully painted, but that is about the extent of the articulation. Whereas Hasbro's has a fully articulated Lightning Collection figure and a more of a matte finish and a lot less painted cycle. So pros and cons. Bandai cycle is clearly the winner, but you know, it's a much nicer figure. So really the more the effort went into the figure, I guess you could say, than the cycle. And it was kind of the opposite with Bandai's, where you got a nicer vehicle and a figure that's really worthless if you take it off the bike. All right, can you swap though? What if you wanted to give? Let go. See, so unless you just want him to walk around like that, like he needs to find a bathroom or something, that's about it for this figure. Fine if you're just displaying the bike. All right. Anyway. So not surprising, Hasbro's figure fits just fine on the original Bandai Uniforce cycle. And then if 2 Uniforce cycles weren't enough, Bandai Japan did one for Gaoranger. This one has chrome and translucent pieces for where the sirens are supposed to be. The Goldar release annoys me a little bit, because it's like very soon for another Goldar who's still at GameStop, and they barely did anything to it. Like, if it had a new head, I would have been very excited. I'd love an open mouth Goldar, but I mean, they basically just took his wings away and gave him the little wing nubby things. They're compatible, so you could give these wings to him and these things to him. Same thing. He's supposed to have a new, better paint job, but it looks, to me, exactly the same. I see what they did, but it's barely noticeable. It is a totally new sword, though, and a new effects piece. I do like the effects piece, and I do prefer the new sword over the old one. But, I mean, it's... I don't know. Like, they could have just given you a new sword and the wing nub things and, like, with a putty or something instead of making you buy Goldar again. You know what I mean? Obviously, I bought it. But, yeah. So one thing I've noticed with Hasbro's releases is the number 3. Did you guys notice that? Like, Zed, Rita, Goldar. 3 different putties. 3 Psycho Rangers before they released the whole pack. 3 SPDs. 3 Beast Morphers, even though there's Blaze. Does he count as a Ranger though? Like, it's just red, blue, and gold right now. Still no silver or yellow. 3 Dino Charge. It definitely seems like as they're building the teams, like we have 3 for a little while, right? So Lost Galaxy is currently at 2. Maybe there's another Lost Galaxy coming. Like who's almost at 3? We've got a Dino Thunder. I didn't say Charge this time. We've got White Ranger from Dino Thunder, so maybe there's more Dino Thunder coming. Like if there's any pattern to their things of 3. I mean, I assume they're just going to keep going and complete all the teams, but like the ones that are like at 1 or 2 now, it seems like there would be another... Oh, Zeo. Zeo's at 3. We've got 1 for In Space now, so maybe more In Space is coming sooner than later. Here's Hasbro's Megazord next to Bandai's 93. 2010 Megazord. Legacy Megazord. SOC Megazord from Japan. SOC Dragonzord. Also compatible with Legacy Titanus. And one of our patrons wanted to know, is he compatible with Big Pimpin' Titanus? Let's take a look. It is Legacy Titanus from Bandai America in a Japanese box. There are some differences. It's fantastic. If you missed Legacy Titanus, totally worth it. It is on sale on Amazon. Direct link in the video description. It's really nothing new. It's got shinier gold. The silver on the back is a little brighter. Some of the gold, it's really almost exactly the same thing. There's the Japanese version. Here's the Bandai America version. They're compatible because it's the same thing. Put one of these on Legacy Titanus and one on SOC Titanus. It fits because it's the same thing. Does it need to be this heavy? I mean, this is metal on the bottom. It's shiny. Japan said we want to do a nice fancy Titanus, but how are we going to improve upon this? It wasn't worth it to make a whole new thing because Legacy Titanus was already so good. You can only make it so much better. I mean, you could make it better by making it bigger, putting in a motor, but I mean, they're already charging nearly $300 for this. It is like $230 on Amazon right now, so I'd jump on that. Don't wait until this is gone if you want it. I'm not saying this is bad. Like, don't get me wrong. Love Titanus. It's a great model. This one's a little shinier, and you can get a nice workout with it. You know? It's the same thing. It's the same thing as before, but shinier. Alright, so SOC Titanus is basically just Legacy Titanus with some shinier gold and a couple minor differences, but great. You missed out on Legacy Titanus and you want to complete your Bandai America Legacy Ultrazord, you can just get SOC Titanus and be good, right? Unfortunately, those are the 2 major differences, both involving Dragonzord. Legacy Dragonzord's tail, even though it's the same mold, it no longer fits. So that can only go on the Bandai America version. Not the biggest deal. Maybe you just leave the tail off. But what is a bigger deal is the chest piece. Bandai America, it can't fit in there. Bandai Japan, a little better. It at least fits in, but it doesn't stay in. You'd have to stick it in with something. I don't know why you'd want to, but anyway, this is where it goes. Bandai America. These also are pretty much, again, identical, sort of, but they're not compatible with the Megazord, the SOC and the Legacy. Alright, let's go over some other differences. Other differences include, on the SOC version, they did cover up a couple of screw holes. There were the back legs over here, and then again up at the front where the Dragozord piece sits. Next, you kind of have to choose if you want nice and shiny for like a display, or if you like more screen accurate. Bandai America has more dull but still shiny gold, which is actually more screen accurate. The SOC version has nice shiny chrome gold, which probably looks nicer on a display shelf, but technically not screen accurate. Most of the paint and details are identical on both versions. However, Japan took this silver piece from Legacy Titanus and made it gold. On the show, it's silver, so it's actually more screen accurate on Bandai America's version. Then there are a couple other areas where they sort of changed the graphics, and as far as I can tell from looking at an image, it looks like Bandai America's, once again, was more screen accurate to begin with, and Japan changed it to be less screen accurate, oddly enough. SOC Titanus is a brighter white. I'm not sure that makes a difference one way or another. And then also, for some reason, Dragozord's chest piece sits up higher in SOC. Legacy got it right. It should look more like it does, well, it should look exactly like it does on the Legacy version. Alright, the last thing is going to really bother some people and not really make a difference to other people. Depends what you're doing with it. Maybe it's just an annoyance, even if you were only... Wow, this is so heavy. If you were only going to leave it on a shelf, just the fact that it doesn't do it. Alright, so, non-motorized, but you can roll these. Legacy Titanus. The cannons move kind of independently. See how this one is down while this one is up? That's how it should be. Bandai America got it correct. For $100... For $100 more? Did they get it right in Japan? No, they didn't. So heavy. The cannons move up and down at the same time. That's not how it's supposed to be. Despite being significantly more expensive, Bandai America, I think, wins in most cases. In almost every case, Bandai America wins. You gotta get this version if you want an entire SOC Ultrazord. As far as show accuracy goes, Bandai America wins. It, of course, should go without saying that in this video, I'm here to give you information and compare the two. It's still closer to nitpicking, though, because no matter which one you get, these are really awesome. Even if one looks more screen accurate than the other, or dull gold, shiny gold, whatever it is, these are both really awesome. It's the same mold, they both look great, they both have differences. Either one, you're gonna be very happy with if you like Titanus or Season 1. If you want to make the Legacy Ultrazord, you want this one. If you want the SOC, you want this one. They both, either Megazord is gonna fit either way, although, even though this is the SOC version doesn't fit as well. Legacy Megazord just fits right in, just like that. SOC version, which is the one that this is supposed to be made for, you're going to have a tough time getting this in without damaging Triceratops' horns. What I actually did, let go, I actually put this in first, and then I assemble it like that. You know, it would have been great if they were going to do a $300 Titanus, if it could have been a new version that accommodated the other two Zords that they made, which were pretty great. I didn't open mine, I didn't need it, but it comes with a little thing, it plugs in back here. I think it plugs in like that, and then to the Megazord so it doesn't lean forward, you know. But speaking of which, the instructions that they give you are fantastic. Full color, look at that. I wish all instructions could be this good. Sometimes they give you instructions and it's hard to tell what you're looking at because they're just like in those black and white like line drawing kind of things, and it's kind of confusing, especially when they're really small. Unless you pay some crazy eBay prices. So I decided to get it after all, and I really love the light feature. That's just so cool. Here's the Bandai America sword, and here's Hasbro's. Bandai on the left, Hasbro on the right. Hasbro's Power Sword is a decent size, but Bandai America's was bigger. Bandai's is also heavier as well. Hasbro's sword weighs 1 pound 13 ounces. Bandai America's is 2 pounds 9 ounces.
Bandai's Legacy Sword can fit on Hasbro's Lightning Collection stand. I think the audio on Bandai sounds better. Let me know what you think. To me, Hasbro sounds a little bit like it's underwater. Hasbro's is a bit more expensive now than Bandai's was then, especially if you missed the Target sale. But if you tried to buy it today, I'm looking at eBay listings right now, it's selling between $3 something and $500. So Hasbro's is the way to go now. Here's the new box that this came in, and here's the original Red Lion box from Japan. The new box is almost as big as the old one. I know a lot of people are wondering if Red Lion is compatible with He-Man. The answer is yes. Now you can give your Wild Force Megazord, or Gao King, Sword and Shield mode with the elephant. Here's the original Wild Force Megazord next to the modeling kit. Here's the original Red Lion from the Megazord. Here's the big Red Lion from the modeling kit. And here's the Bandai America Big Lion. And here's the small Red Lion from the modeling kit. If you did enjoy this video, there are hundreds more like it already on this channel. Please consider checking out our videos in full so you get to see all of the different viewer-requested things that we do, as well as seeing our videos in real time so you're not missing out on all the pre-orders, which then are sold out by the time I get the product. I'm going to end here. Thank you guys for watching. Please subscribe, hit the bell button so you get notified, and good night.